The market for stolen cars is growing ever more sophisticated. Hey there, everyone. It's Jeff, and this is Plain English on Monday, September 15th, 2025. Here at Plain English, we help you upgrade your skills in English with stories about current events and trending topics. And as you can hear, we go just a little bit slower than native speed so you can understand every word. Every episode has one story, and today's story is about car theft. When someone steals a car, where does it go? Before today, I thought it would have been sold for parts or maybe used for other crimes. But increasingly, the answer to the question, where does a stolen car go, is Africa. That's today's Plain English story. This is part one of a two-part story. Today, we'll talk about what happens and why. On Thursday, we'll talk about how you can get a stolen car from England to Africa. This is episode number 804. So you can find the full transcript, exercises, translations, and writing practice at plainenglish.com/804. plainenglish.com/804, and that is thanks to JR, the producer. Before we start today's story, I'd just like to remind you that the podcast is just one part of how we can help you upgrade your English skills. At plainenglish.com, you can make faster progress with active learning strategies. You can take quizzes, do activities, listen to the fast version of the audio, watch video workshops, practice what you learn, and even join a live call with JR and me. It's all about helping you build your skills to become a better, more confident English speaker. Sound good? Go to plainenglish.com to start your free 14-day trial today. Now, let's jump into today's story. In the old days, car theft was relatively straightforward. A thief could break the ignition or hotwire the car. You've seen this in movies. The thief rips off a panel near the steering wheel, touches a few wires together, and drives off. Back then, stolen cars were often taken to a local chop shop, where they were disassembled and sold for parts. If they didn't do that, criminals might have used the car to commit another crime and then abandoned it. Some changed the vehicle identification number and resold the car to an unsuspecting buyer. It was a very local business. But starting in the early 2000s, car makers upgraded their security systems, and police improved their tracking and enforcement. Hot wiring became nearly impossible. Many modern car parts are more complex and harder to reuse, making chop shops less profitable. And tighter regulations and digital records have made it more difficult to resell stolen cars to everyday consumers. So is that the end of stolen cars? It looked like it might be. Car theft declined in the early 2000s as the technology stopped the low-tech thefts. But now, a new wave of high-tech global car theft is taking its place. Here's how it works in a nutshell. Thieves go after flashy luxury cars and large SUVs in the rich world. Once stolen, the vehicles are loaded into shipping containers and sent overseas to countries where law enforcement is weaker. One popular destination is the Democratic Republic of Congo. Just days after a car is taken from the quiet suburbs of England, it can be crossing the ocean on a legitimate container ship. A few weeks later, it might be for sale in Africa. Why is this happening? In many African countries, it's prohibitively expensive to buy new cars legitimately from a dealer or car maker. The reason is there aren't enough middle and upper class car buyers to sustain a large network of dealerships. Even the buyers that have the money might not be able to find new vehicles through legal channels. So the market for stolen cars is there to serve them. Many of the stolen SUVs end up in West and Central Africa, where demand is strongest. Right-hand drive vehicles taken from the UK or Japan are shipped to countries like Kenya, Tanzania, and Ghana, which also drive on the left. Left-hand drive models taken from the US, Canada, or mainland Europe go to countries like Nigeria, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Algeria. Africa is the largest destination for global stolen cars, but it's not the only one. Stolen vehicles also make their way to Iraq, the United Arab Emirates, and other parts of the Middle East, where high-end models are in demand. One thing that all these destinations have in common: law enforcement is weaker. Police don't often check vehicle identification numbers against international databases. At ports, customs inspections of containers are limited. And if customs officers start asking too many questions, a small bribe might be enough to make the problem go away. Buyers rarely ask for, and sellers don't offer, paperwork proving a vehicle's origin. In many cases, nobody wants to know. There's another reason stolen SUVs are in such high demand: ruggedness. Many roads across Africa, even in major cities, are in poor condition. Buyers want SUVs that can handle rough roads and rural areas. And what kind of luxury car is popular among suburban families these days? You got it, SUVs. These days, car thieves don't smash windows and cross wires. Instead, they use relay devices. If the true key is nearby, say on the kitchen table, then a thief in the garage or driveway can use a relay device which picks up the key's signal and amplifies it. So the car thinks the key is nearby. The car can be started and driven to a safe spot. And that's where an onboard computer can program a new electronic key. The morning after their car was stolen, a family in England watched the whole thing on their security camera's footage. They saw that it took a thief 63 seconds to start their 100,000-pound Range Rover in the garage and drive it off. Thieves also have another trick. They rent expensive SUVs for 30 days and immediately ship them overseas. By the time the rental car agency reports the car stolen, it's already in the middle of the ocean. So now the market is in place. The demand is there. Buyers in countries with weak oversight have enough cash for stolen vehicles, but not enough to afford legal imports. The supply is sitting idle in suburban driveways and rental car lots where thieves can easily target them. The only challenge now is getting the cars from one place to another. And that's a story in and of itself. A story we'll tell next time. There's an old joke. Albania, in Eastern Europe, used to be a destination for stolen Mercedes cars from Europe and the UK. And so Mercedes cars were frequently stolen and shipped to Albania. Now, Albania was not, at the time, a popular place to go on vacation. So the joke was a satire of what a tourist advertising campaign might sound like. It was a fake tourist ad. The joke went like this: "Come visit Albania. Your car is already here." And that's all for us here at Plain English. Remember, this was part one of a two-part story. On Thursday, we'll pick this topic back up with the remarkable story of how stolen cars are shipped around the world. The one thing that surprised me is how easy it all is. So keep your eye out for that on Thursday. But for now, this episode is coming to a close. Remember, the quiz, pronunciation, grammar, and listening exercises are all for you at plainenglish.com/804. See you back here on Thursday. Listen up if you speak Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, German, French, Italian, Japanese, Polish, or Turkish. One of the most frustrating things about listening and reading in a second language is being confused by unfamiliar words or phrases. When you listen to Plain English, or when you read the transcript, you probably encounter some words you don't know. When that happens, you have a few options. You can stop the audio, go look up the definition, then return to the episode, find your place, and press play again, but that's exhausting. Or you can just skip it and be confused. That's no fun either. But what if you could see the translation of the word into your language instantly without having to stop the audio, without having to look anything up? Well, you can at plainenglish.com. For each episode, we translate about 100 words and phrases from English to 9 languages: Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, German, French, Italian, Japanese, Polish, and Turkish. And we highlight those words in blue. All you have to do is hover your mouse over the highlighted word, and you'll see the translation instantly. It works great on mobile too. It really makes listening a lot more satisfying, and it's a great way to expand your vocabulary in English. The best way to see these translations is to sign up for a free 14-day trial at plainenglish.com. During your trial, you can read as many transcripts as you like, all with the translations into your language. So sign up for your free trial today at plainenglish.com.